This is me versus every me. Who is responsible? Who is responsible? Who is responsible? Free me to be me. 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 I'm godly, I'm brilliant, I'm holy, I'm fearless, I'm wealthy, relentless, I'm winning, I'm living, I'm healing, gets messy, I'm trusting, I'm hoping, so purely, I'm loving, divine, it's tweaking, you feel me, I free me to be me, I'm dressing, so saucy, I'm vibing, creating, not bragging, not tripping, just doing, and trusting, I'm friendly, so happy, I claim me, I free me to be me. 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 I'm godly, I'm holy, I'm fearless, I'm wealthy, relentless, I'm winning, I'm living, I'm healing, it's messy, I'm trusting, I'm hoping, so purely, I'm loving, divine me, it's tweaking, I'm flying, I'm being, I feel me, I'm seeking, you feel me, I free me to be me. I'm godly, I'm brilliant, I'm holy, I'm fearless, I'm wealthy, relentless, I'm winning, I'm living. I am whole, I am whole, I am peace, I am peace, I am love, I am love, I am free, I'm everything that I speak, I'm complete, I'm designing my being by liberating my mind, my emotions, my will and my speech. I watch myself. I listen to my heart. I am mindful of my mind. I am whole. I am peace. I am love. I am free. I'm everything that I speak. I'm complete. You feel me? I free me to be me. 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 I'm godly. I'm brilliant. I'm holy. I'm fearless. I'm wealthy. Relentless. I'm winning. I'm living. I'm healing. Gets messy. I'm trusting. I'm hoping. So purely. I'm loving. Divine me is tweaking. I'm flying. I'm being. I feel me. I'm seeking. I'm healing. Gets messy. I'm trusting. I'm hoping. So purely, I'm loving, divine me is tweaking. I'm flying. Can you all hear me? I'll make sure you can hear me as well. I'm not hiding from my kingdom. I face my focus to congregate all my selves so I can inhabit the throne. Hey, Molly Party, my Aries Queen, David C. Dennis, hey family, yours truly, say hello, my heartbeat, come on in, come on in. Love, death, birth, the beauty of life, and everything living, I can feel it in me. But I get still, I'm not just personally developing, I need relief. So I exhale. I'm spreading a soulful, contagious thought and feeling throughout every living being and frequency on earth and beyond. It's a lot of work. That's why I gotta breathe through this, ease through this. I'm dominating this. I'm no longer holding my breath. I'm my majestic beauty. Everything beautiful about me can't be touched or seen. It can only be felt through the heart. With just one look into my eyes, I remind others. How's everyone doing? We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Freedom from being attached to this integral life. And this causes me to live like I'm walking magic. One day here, next day is everyone safe? I must breathe. So it's the lie. I know there's a lot of storms going on around. We had a thunderstorm earlier. I was praying the internet wouldn't give out on us. Hey, Sincere the DJ, 10 and 2, 10 and 2. Got you. The Rebel, my sister.
How are you, darling?
And on top of that, I'm naming all my demons now.
Yes, where's everybody? Drop your location.
Shadows they used to
Just want to
play
make
with
sure
and
you're
play in
safe.
are exposed by divine awareness. Them demons got bored with me. I slept. Now I get to exhale. I get to let it all out. I don't have to wait to exhale. All the ruminations of 1,000 yesterdays are exposed. I see I don't need them anymore. How many needs will I realize I don't need anymore? Am I seeing and knowing too much too fast? I don't know. Who am I becoming? So
David, I truly appreciate you, family. I know it is like late over there, but you always seem to tap in whenever we go live, and I truly appreciate you. We appreciate you.
I exhale.
Double Spirit, my sis, how are you? Come on in. David, how's your baby? How's baby girl?
How long will I last? I trust this is what I've always wanted. I'm talking myself into supreme wholeness with undeniable authenticity.
Hey,
No one can unsee
everyone.
it.
Hello, hello.
I'm naked with my life. I've torn all my mental and emotional clothes off of the personas, suppressions, denials.
Oh, she turned 4 months yesterday. Oh my goodness.
Low
I know
self-esteem.
she's a doll. I know she is.
I'm getting
Hey,
lighter.
sister.
I'm
Oh, you
letting
see
her
it. You see
silent
it.
permission to rest
You see it.
and breathe.
I just want everybody to breathe.
Past, present, future,
Breathe.
body, mind, soul,
Breathe.
spirit, program, matrix, creator, integration.
Whatever you may
Love
be
is
going
brought light to
through,
all corners of my mind.
whatever
I let the
is
process
just
me. When I am
ravaging your
quiet,
mind
my roaring
right
energy
now, I
of
just want you
breathing
to
in and out.
breathe.
I've gone within now.
This is a place where you can
It's
come and
time to live
breathe
out loud. I exhale.
with no judgment. Breathe. Welcome to Team Dopeness Lens Check, where we say it out loud without judgment. Why are you breathing fast, Chris? Why are you breathing so fast, Chris? This is one of my favorite songs right here. Chris, you got this. We've been doing this for a minute. You are going to be just fine. Shout out to Lurker. I love my Lurker. Welcome in. Welcome in.
It's giving me such positive outlook on life. My life has become magnificently.
DJ Mad Live, hey fam. Hello, hello. Welcome in.
Every day I'm fortifying my spirit.
Next, I didn't want to tell you. I wanted you to see it. I just wanted you to see it. We're just breathing right now. We're just relaxing. We inhaling and we exhaling. Whatever it may be, right now, let it go. Let it go. You're in a safe spot, a safe zone. If you have to close your eyes for a moment, just to take a deep breath and exhale. Do that. Thank you. I just wanted to reveal it on today's stream, and I'll talk more about it. Thank you. Lex 10 and 2, 10 and 2. They got it. Thank you, Level. Thank you. I'm embracing my inner dopeness. I have talked to you about my lock journey, and it's very personal to me. So I am embracing my inner dopeness.
Ladies, we in the inner gym. Grab your
Thank you,
journal,
yours
your
truly, Tay.
incense.
Thank you so much.
Let's go outside. Let's soak
I'm gonna
up the
go
sun.
ahead
Light your
and
candle.
we're gonna get
Set those
started.
boundaries. Make sure that inner lap is done in ease. Your practice is gonna make that journey pop.
Put this in the background a little bit.
My inner knowing is the practice where self-mastery goes up in me. I'm holding space. Sacred energy living.
Again, welcome
My body is a temple.
to Team Dopeness Lens Check. Yes, I am 10 and 2 in you. You know better. Welcome, everyone. Right, tell her to go. Tell her to get out the chat. You go ban her for a minute. So today, we're going to start our anger series. There'll probably be a 2 to 3 part series depending on how much we cover tonight. We've gone back to teaching and educating as we see things happening in this society, in this world. I wanted to go back to teaching some more. And we're going to talk about anger because anger is a part of our emotion. We just have to learn how to express it, when to express it, and just how to navigate through. Um, Anger is becoming more and more of an emotion outward lately these days, again, because of society issues, job, home, relationships, whether it's intimate or family or friends. So we want to talk about anger. And I know we all have experienced anger. And sometimes we don't know how to express it without it going overboard or to another level. So we're going to just start tonight just talking about what is anger and the levels of anger. So I'm going to bring my beautiful co-host up, Christian Levin.
Hey.
Hello, beautiful. Hello, hello.
Hello. Thank you for
How
the
are
invite.
you?
I'm good.
Good. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. I have missed you. Um, I know we did a break, and I know you've been traveling as well. So I just wanted to, bring you back up so we can go ahead and start getting our series started on, anger and, other very viable topics that we need to talk about. Yeah, man, live. Yes. Um, we will. Oh, I know you going in. Um, we will have a link in case some do want to come up and kind of talk about it or give their expression of it. Of course, like I said, with just anger alone, we won't cover everything tonight. Why are you sighing, Lex?
Lex
Why
is making me angry because she's talking about she's driving, but she's still texting in the chat.
You talk about where's the shelf? Oh,
It's here.
look.
It's
Yeah.
here.
Do I look a little bit higher when I sit up now? Only reason because my mom and my dad got me a booty cushion.
Oh, a booty
So
cushion.
my booty can be comfortable, but then I can sit up a little higher. So that was one of the things I got for my birthday.
Okay.
It was a booty cushion. So if I look higher, that's why. I'm still the same height. So, that's not going to change. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm about another 4 inches high with all my afro here. So
your afro is beautiful. Your hair is really growing. Really
thank
growing.
you. It sure is. So Lex, quit objectifying me
Let,
and get off
let,
this
let's.
damn.
DJ Mama, she said, I love it. Best birthday gift.
All
4
right.
feet, nothing.
This
You
is
know
for
what?
Lex.
Anyway.
This is for Lex. There. Is
Right.
that better for you, Lex?
Right.
Do I need to pull this down a little bit? No,
Oh,
that's
Lord.
from my bra. There we
Oh,
go.
my gosh.
There. Is this good for you?
It's a boot.
Uh-huh.
It's a David. It's a booty cushion. That's what I call it. It's a booty
I love you, Lex. But get off the chat if you driving.
cushion. Look, David talking about a booty. What? She talking about 1 inch more.
Oh,
Go, Lex.
hey.
You know what? Lex talking about that's one large cushion. It is actually. No, this not
You
the
didn't.
we not going left. We are not derailing this show. Stop it.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm gonna try not to go left, but Lex is starting it, so it's all Lex's fault.
There is my boo. Still love songs. Welcome to the team. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
show
Oh,
love
I'm so
song. Hey,
happy.
DJ
I'm so happy.
Cruz.
DJ Cruz went. See, he walked in on the wrong thing. He heard about booty cushions and got the eyes going on.
Oh
But
my.
yeah, everyone welcome Shell Love Songs, please. Please, please, please. To the team. Look at Mad Live. Booty, 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 booty. See, it's going left before we even get started.
All you said was booty cushion.
That's all I said was booty cushion.
Lord, today.
All right. So I'm gonna start with just this brief icebreaker. I laughed when I watched the video because it was under anger. But when I watched the video, I realized it was kind of like a little decompression from
Mm.
that. So yeah, all the apostles are back there. Lord have mercy. Sitting in the back of the church today.
Mm.
So we're gonna look at this little short film called The Elevator.
Out, please. Excuse me. Out. Get on. Excuse me.
Hell no.
Now,
Wow.
just imagine, I know we've always all been on the elevator to where, it kind of aggravates us or, stuff like that happens. You kind of like, get a little frustrated. Right, Molly, he second guessed his life choice, all his life choices. Because stuff like this does happen, but it's how you handle it. So we're going to get into it and get started. So, first of all, what is anger? What is anger? This is going to kind of require some, engagement in the chat because we want to see what everybody's, thoughts are, or what their definition of anger in your words. So, anger is a family of emotions that accompany each other. That's basically what anger is. What is yours, Chris? What is your definition of anger?
It's a very intense emotion that if not checked, it can alter your life, if you don't get it under control. I had to learn
Absolutely.
that.
I have to. I can be honest, I had to learn back in the old me, to learn how to deal with my anger because it was times that, as we'll go through the levels of anger that I experienced one and one overcame the other to where it could have been detrimental for myself and other party. So it's just taking time to really learn how to express in a healthy way and control. Hey, cuz, how are you? Carlista, come on in. And I saw a follower. I was actually trying to figure out the name. Is it Ills? Ills? I don't like messing up people's names because mine gets jacked up all the time.
Yeah, I was hoping you saw that we had someone
Yeah.
viewing us from Facebook. Hi, Facebook people.
Yes, hi Facebook, hi YouTube. So we're streaming on
Hey.
Facebook, of course, Twitch, and YouTube. So welcome everybody. If it comes in, it's like Facebook user or anything like that, we will, ask if you'd like to reveal who you are. If not, no worries. This is a no judgment zone. We're not pressing for anyone to, talk in the chat. If you're listening, that is good enough for us. Like I said, I love my lurkers because that means that they're tuning in and they're listening.
Mhm.
Molly Potter said anger can be a defense mechanism covering fear. Yes,
Facts.
yes, that is
Facts.
facts. That is facts. Anyone else? Mad Live, David. Yes, I'm calling y'all out. It's
We
men.
calling out
I
mad.
would really, men. I really would love to know what your definition of anger is in your own words. I would love to hear that if you're willing to share. But as we go through that, Krish has some stats
Mhm.
that she's going to go over with us about anger and ethnicities.
Yes. Well, first we were going to hit on gender because it's good that you brought up because anger between men and women are so different.
Hmm.
Um, Let me see. I can't read my own handwriting. Okay. They pretty much say that women experience anger as frequently and as intensely as men, but we do it differently. So men scores higher on physical aggression, passive aggression, and experiences of impulsively dealing with their anger. Yeah, I swear I know how to read. Sorry, I'm just nervous. So I'll read that again since I can't read. Men score higher on physical aggression, passive aggression, and experience of impulsively dealing with their anger. Women were found to be angry longer. Yes.
Hmm.
We are more resentful and less likely to express their anger compared with men. I don't like, because when I'm pissed off, everybody knows I'm pissed off, but
Hmm.
that's what the studies show. So, what do you guys think about that between men and women?
Now, David says, I guess it's when someone or something upsets you, causing an extreme reaction. Hard to control, but absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Okay. Matt Live says, my anger comes from a pileup of disappointments, overwhelming outside pressure, and a lack of expectations not fulfilled. Yes, yes. Dr. Dady, hello, Queen. Come on in, come on in.
Hey, Auntie.
So, Matt Live, you gotta, you're right there. And David, that's a good point. That's a good point too.
Mhm.
So, ladies, I ask you this too. Share your definition in your words of what you feel anger, the definition of anger is. Only because sometimes, a lot of times, when women are angry, we are labeled as the angry woman.
Mhm.
Not understanding, what it is. It's just automatically she's angry, she's bitter,
Or the
without
angry black
knowing.
woman.
Yeah, the angry black woman syndrome, which I don't like that
Mm-mm.
at all, because to me you're being labeled.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about levels of anger. And as I was researching this, um going to school and taking these courses, it's not until you actually get out here and you have to teach it that you like, wow, you see it, you've been through it, and it seems like it's getting worse day by day. Male, I say, unfortunately, I can't stand when they put that on a woman. Yes, when we're labeled the angry black woman or the angry woman, period.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is pain, the feeling of betrayal that feels like a physical wound.
Oh, girl. Sorry, go
How
ahead.
many times can you say pain and you rather be hit than like going through anger, emotional pain? You would rather just be hit and let the scar heal from being, physically. But this right here, the pain, it affects you more than anything. Your mental, your spiritual, your emotional. It affects all your dopeness. It really does. So, what is an example of pain? Chris, what do you feel? What is an example of pain to you?
A good analogy is when we were growing up. Oh, am I echoing? Hopefully I'm
I don't
not.
hear anything.
Okay. Growing up, when you had punishments, I'd rather get a beating than getting my stuff taken away. My worst punishment was my TV getting taken out of my room and put in my sister's room. That pain is temporary, you know,
Hmm.
but the the pain of betrayal and anger, it just kind of just lingers in your head, and you're just redoing all these visions in your head, and you're like,
Yes.
it's just constant. There's no way to get rid of it. You can
And
numb it
you
with
just feel
alcohol.
like, can I just, can it just leave my mind? And that's
Yes.
the one thing that pain is like one of those things that it takes a moment depending on the type of and level of pain. Um, Emotional abuse, verbal, physical abuse. Which
Hmm.
out of those three you feel like you can heal the quickest from?
The physical, probably.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Dr. Dady says, I think my anger can be twofold. Being an exceptionally articulate Black woman who is a student of her craft, I get frustrated when, yeah, watching and Black people who are either haters or scared of, yes, trying to silence me. You know what? That's a whole word right there. That is me as
Hmm.
well. That is me. What Dr. Dady said, that's me all day. Um, we're gonna get into a whole nother segment. I'm trying to stay on point about haters and people who speak negative over your life.
Hmm.
And yes to the feelings of betrayal. So I am the same way, Chris. I'll get over the physical before I can get over mental and emotional, no matter how many times is, the apologies come or anything like that. It just takes a moment. You have to navigate through those feelings to get back to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. No one expects someone to go through pain and just them, okay, well, that happened yesterday or that happened 2 days ago. When it's your mental and your emotional, you're going to feel that sting for a moment.
Oh
So
yeah.
I absolutely agree. So everybody else, what is it for you? Does it, is it, do you heal quicker from physical, emotional, or mental? What is the first, what lasts with you longer to heal? Okay. Dr. Dady said we will cover that when you come on engagement. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I got you. I got you. So the second level is hurt. And to be honest with you all, I thought anger was anger before, digging deep and, getting educated about it and trained about it. I thought anger was anger. I just thought it was just anger is what it is. I didn't realize that it was levels to even the anger. You know, I'll just be like, oh, they're just excessively angry or they're pissed off. But no, there's levels to this. Emotional abuse takes longer to heal from. Agree. So I think we all can say that the emotional abuse it takes the longest to heal from that, um, than the physical. So hurt, easier to acknowledge than conquer. This born of a sense of injustice, creating the need to retaliate. So hurt creates the need to retaliate, but it's all about how you deal with your hurt. What about you, Chris?
So what you're saying is this the part where you get like embarrassed and then you want to just kind of like seek revenge or
It can be that, but it's going to go down to levels of that as well.
yeah, because I am way better than I was in my 20s. In my 20s, I was a very angry teen and young adult. And I woke up, I always joke that I say I wake up choosing violence. That's my past
Hmm.
life.
Right.
Now dealing with something crazy that happened to me a couple weeks ago, there were things I could have done to hurt the person that betrayed me, but I was mature enough to be like, you know what? I'm not doing that. Yes, I am pissed off. Yes, I want to do everything and set stuff on fire, like waiting to exhale and all that.
Hmm.
But I didn't. So, but it was there. Like I had the scenario in my head a billion times. Like, what can I burn up? What can I tear
You
up?
walk through it in your mind. What could you do to get
Hmm.
back at this person because you were hurt?
Hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like I said, chat, family, engage, share, because we would love to know, where you stand, how do you feel when you're being hurt or you're in pain? The
Hmm.
third is fear, feelings of loss of control and anticipation of hurt that leads to lashing out.
Yes.
The lash out is a part of the fear. And when you break it down, it's like, okay, when you have pain, hurt, and now we have fear, and now you have your pain and hurt combined with the fear, here we are with now we about to lash out. And lashing out is we know that that cannot be a good ending to lashing out. This is where the mental abuse comes in. This is where the verbal abuse comes in, and possibly the physical abuse. You know how the analogy hurt people, and it's
Yep.
not necessarily saying because you've been through trauma that you're a hurt person. You could be hurt from something that happened yesterday. You could be hurt from something that happened 2 weeks ago, and you lash out. It's not necessarily saying hurt people in the manner of their past traumas. It could be something that just occurred and you're hurt. And
Hmm.
so some people just lash out with it. That's the way that they get it off. Is it healthy? Depending on what you're doing and how you are executing that release. So, it's just being mindful. And sometimes your mental is not there to say, okay, I might not need to say that. I might not need to do that. I might not need to, proceed in my thoughts of trying to retaliate and get back at this person because it may not end up well.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely like it's almost like your conscience kicks in because when you're younger, your conscience wants you to do whatever. You don't really have a conscience. At least I didn't. Now that
Mm-hmm.
you're older and you lived a little bit and you know what could go wrong. And I mean, I got a lot going for me, you know. I got a home, cars, all that. I got a career. If I was to go kill somebody that betrayed me, I could lose all that. And it
Right.
took me so long to get all that. Like, but in your 20s, you don't have none of that. You don't have a house, car, all that stuff that actually has equity and value to you. So you sit there and just lash out and don't care.
And honestly, and some people do. It just depends on the mindset. They can have, like you said, everything, but in that moment, they make the wrong decision and it's gone.
Hmm. And that's what I don't want. That's what I was thinking about with what happened with me. It's like I got too much to live for. I'm not about to act crazy, even though I really want to. And I just said, you know what? The cosmos got this. Karma's gonna get them. I'm gonna let karma deal with
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. Mad Live says, Chris, I agree. When I was younger, my anger got the best of me due to severe trauma. Mad
Yeah,
Live, we're gonna cover that too.
yeah.
Um, and he says, now I handle it with this. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. You on that point. But what
Is that a
about some
Bible
of us?
verse?
Yes, but you know Mad Live gonna come in with some of that.
Because my
But
skin started burning a little bit, so I was like, that must be something
you
biblical.
know what? I cannot with
I
you.
was like,
My skin
damn.
started. He said, which comes from my father. And Mad Live, some people it has to take them to get to that point. But some people still, are like, oh, I'm gonna get back. I'm on that get back. I remember that being a term when I was younger. Oh, I'm on that get back. Some people have the grudges we can go further into the seven deadly sins when it comes to the grudges and holding all of that. So that's why I say it's levels to anger and it's so deep. Um, so that's why it's going to be a series because it'll be a lot to even cover tonight.
Yeah,
If we, dig so deep, we'll be on here for hours.
yeah.
Um, Dr. Dady says, when you present a different response than what is expected, the other person loses power over you. Say that. Say
Say
that
it
again.
again for the people in the
If,
back.
if you're in the front of the church right now, uh, say it for the people in the back and in the balcony, and that might be sitting outside watching on the big screen. Say that
Yeah,
again.
I'm in the parking lot, so I don't heard
She said she in the parking lot.
her.
Hey DJ OE, hello. Can come on in. Come on in.
My boo. Hey, Risky Ringo.
Risky in
Um,
here. Hey Risky.
but
Hello,
yeah,
hello.
I had so much anger as a teen, and when I got my heart broken the first time, the only thing I could think of was like, oh, I'm gonna sleep with his best friend, and I did it. And at the time, I was like, I feel good about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's like I don't know if I would do that again.
Right.
I'm like I'm gonna do karma. Karma's gonna work for me this time.
And see, that's although you chose that way to get back because of your anger, it's now that you said, I don't think, I'm not doing it's the ones that continue that
Mhm.
path to where, like my grandmother said, you keep on going, you're gonna slide down that razor blade and land into that alcohol. I don't know
Oh,
if anybody else's grandmother has ever said that, but yes. Risky, yeah, pull up a chair. Pull up a chair.
OE, I'm sorry, OE. I didn't think they would catch on. You shouldn't have said nothing.
Oh Lord. I didn't scroll down that far. Molly said the consequences are bigger as we age. True that.
Hmm.
True that.
Yes.
Oh, David, you telling he missed the video. Oh my God, because he did say, is that OE? Dr. Dady says, listen, in my early 50s, and for a fleeting moment, I wanted to go cuss out some of them YT folks and tell them how dumb they really are, but I chose to pivot. And you know what, Dr. David, I give you kudos for that because sometimes trying to
Hmm.
pivot past that is one of the hardest things to do because sometimes people feel like, oh, I'm giving them my power if I don't say anything. I'm giving them power if I don't do anything. They're gonna think I'm soft. They're gonna think, I'm weak and all this. No, I got the rah rah rah. When sometimes it is just best to like fall back And like you said, Chris, allow the calm. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Data, we have had that conversation. She said, for context, I worked in an extremely racist school district. Yes, the district you worked in, yes, ma'am. I salute you for even dealing with it as long as you did. Um,
Elitist.
it's just how, like she said, how we pivot past it. But sometimes just being honest and transparent, that's very hard to do.
Hmm.
I mean, I can take you to this moment. Growing up, and going to the school that I went to, um, I had a lot of, I stayed to myself. I had friends, but I was more so to myself and doing my work, because I was with my grandparents and my mom, and they didn't play that. So I had to um, go to school and do what I was supposed to do. So there was this group of mean girls, and for some reason they were always mean to me. Like, no matter what. I didn't even know those girls. They didn't know me. But when I
Cause you
entered
pretty, cause you the pretty girl. That's why.
and it was just like, whoa, okay, like, where's this coming from? And at first, I didn't know how to handle it. But talking to my grandmother and my mom, they're like, baby, your stance. It's just you. When you walk in the room, some people just cannot deal with it. It irks them. And it was to the point, and just being honest with you, it was lunch period. And back in those times, we had like an hour and 5 minutes for lunch. So, recess, all of that in high school. So, me and my best friend, we're walking back to our locker to get our stuff, get ready for next class. Here comes a group of five mean girls, one head leader. Okay. I'm in the ninth grade, she's in the 12th. So figure that. So she's just talking all this behind my head as we're walking. My best friend is like, just come on, keep walking, this and that and other. I'm just hearing her. I'm not a talker, first of all. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm not one of those ones that's just going, keep, going there. And so she got down to my locker, and as I'm getting my stuff out of my locker, she snatches my pictures off my locker. And at that moment, it was a whole nother other. And everybody looked at like, wow, like she literally punched that girl in the whole grill,
Mm.
and blood was everywhere. I couldn't stop. I literally couldn't stop. It took the assistant principal, all of them, to pull me off because I was the quiet girl. And it was just like, but at that moment in time, she had like hit that nerve. So it's like, now what happens when people hit that nerve? How do you react?
Girl, my fist was clenched during the story. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it.
Right.
I clenched up. I clenched up. I do have a short temper, but I say that my temper alter ego is Crenshaw. Like when she comes out,
Mm-hmm.
she blacks out and she is crazy.
Yes. I mean, and I think we all have an alter ego. I really do. You know why? Because you're not, this same person that you see before you, unless you know a person personally and intimately. When I say intimately, I'm saying your circle of friends. They know. They, when they see you, your facial expression or the way you speak, that you've had it. They know. So all of us have that alter ego. It's just buried inside of us, and that's
Mhm.
why a lot of times you hear the beast that's in me is dormant. It's not dead. So just move along, scoot along. It's okay.
Hey,
And
Disco
Dr. Daddy
Baby.
said her supervisor told me I was it. Really,
Mm, mm,
really.
mm.
Wow. Mad Live says anger is the most simplest form. Anger in its most simplest form is this: anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism towards someone or something you feel has deliberately done you wrong. Did you go look that up? Because that's exactly right. Disco Darren, come on in. Disco, thank you for the 14 months. You've been putting up with me for 14 months. Oh, thank you. Chris, I saw you re-up too.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Risky said I was clenched too. I was ready to fight for you. risky, let me tell you. And so when they we went to the principal's office, I'm telling you, never forget Mr. Gill. He said Crow Marty. That's what he called me because my mom went there. Like my whole family went to that same high school. So here I come. And he said Crow Marty. He said, my goodness. He said, well, hey, well, you just lost it. And I was like, Mr. Gill, you know me. I don't cause any problems because I just knew I was going to be suspended for 10 days. And then I was just like, oh, my grandma going to kill me. My mama going to kill me. Lord, I've been going to school. I'm supposed to be doing blah, 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 blah. So we get to the school. My grandmother said, well, you ain't got no scratches on you. So I'm assuming the other person has it all. I was just like, okay. She was like, I had to defend myself at that point. It wasn't like, okay, you could have done something, or how they say, go tell the teacher. And teachers these days, you go tell them what they do.
They ain't doing shit.
Nothing. Half of the teachers are fighting in school. They fighting the students. Yeah.
That's why I couldn't be a teacher because I don't have any patience. Because
salute to the true teachers, to the true teachers. Disco, really? You said you just here so you won't get fined. Yes, you will get fined. I will come find you and give you a fine.
I wanted to go back to what Heather D. May wrote. She said, "I'm
Hey,
needing."
welcome in. I've not seen that. Heather. Welcome in.
Yes, she says she's needing this so bad tonight. I'm in a relationship with what I believe may be a narcissist and abuser.
Oh man, yes. Just stay right here with us. We're gonna talk because the one thing I want you to do is really listen to what we say. We will cover relationships. I've been there in an abusive relationship. I have been part of domestic violence, dealt with a narcissist. So you're in the right place, Heather D. May. So thank you for being here. And you will find out that our chat shows love. We embrace your inner dopeness, no judgment here. We talk about it. We try our best to educate you and and hopefully you get something out of it. And also, um, if you find someone that you connect with and can whisper, we're always here for a whisper away. We're IG message away. If you need to send a pigeon, the bat signal, we are here. So everybody, could you please just, show Heather D. May some love. Let her know that we're here. So yeah, just stay tuned. Definitely.
Yes,
Um,
her DMs are always open.
yes, definitely. And look at Disco. Disco got the eyes, so it's about to start. Here we go.
And Risky talking about he about to leave because he getting mad.
Risky, you stay right on in here. And Heather D. May, what you just told Dr. Dady, the problem is I love him and it's hard to just walk away. Been there, babe. Been there. I almost lost my life. Okay? And I'm going to go right there. And I want you to let that resonate. Your love isn't, like Dr. Dady said, isn't negative. It's not you. It's not you. And I don't want you to stop. Y'all gonna get me like really into
Don't start
starting.
because I've been so emotional. Please don't cry tonight, Lord.
I'm not. It's just the part when you have been there, and I know some of us in here have been there. And by her being here, there is a cry out for help.
Mm.
And I truthfully have been in that point to where she says, I love him and it's hard to walk away. But I almost lost my life behind that. It's not you that's the problem. The love that you're extending is not the problem. You are taking the weight because you say, I love him, which is not a negative. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're just not getting it back. It's not being reciprocated to you. So yeah, just hang in there.
Please keep in touch with us, Heather.
Just hang in here, stay in this room. And again, if people could just so love, surround her. Risky, you stay put. You stay in your chair. Yes, stay, please. Miss Riz, my big sister, is here. Hello, 5 months strong. Come on in. Come on in. Miss Riz is a life coach as well. Emotional well-being. This would be perfect for her as well to be in here if she's able to. No pressure. Heather Van said, "Thank you so much. That means a lot." Of course, we're here. We're here. This is a safe place. Safe
Mm-hmm.
place for you. He put you in the hospital about 7 years ago. Okay. If you care to share, I see you're talking, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you care to share what happened with the incident that led you to be put in the hospital. Sissy, big sis, if you want to come on, if you want to come up, um, we'll Chris can send you the link if you're able to come on screen. Um, I know this is your realm right here. You always know when to come on right on time.
Mm-hmm.
Mario, I see you, Heavy. Hello, come on in. She is important right now. Yeah, if we have to kind of divert some things in this moment, then that's what we need to do.
And Heather, I just sent it to your whisper on Twitch if you're interested in coming in.
And also send Ms. Riz the link because that's yes, in case Big Sis wants to come up here. Um, we'll end up having a whole panel up here, Heather, to help you.
Right.
A whole panel. A whole panel. Disco says, I don't like men who hit on women, but there are boundaries. Everyone needs to keep their hands to themselves. Agreed. Agreed.
But some men don't realize that some men are still with the old school and think that they need to slap up their
Yeah,
girls.
that's why we sit here, and that's what they call wife beaters. The white t-shirts now wife beaters because that's supposedly what they were in when that occurred. Heather, you said that's what I keep trying to tell him, that I'm not the problem. You're not the problem. You're not the problem. Um, it's safety for me at this point. It is safety for me because when you're looking at domestic violence, narcissism, that is a safety issue. Yeah, it is a vicious cycle. It is very much a vicious cycle. Again, I've been there and I almost lost my life. No, no worries, big sis. You know what you have to do. You're not late. Like you said, you walked in right on time. Molly said, I was in a relationship with a narcissist years ago, and it was like emotional warfare, the level of insanity. Absolutely. Molly, how did you get out? How did you get out? Please help. Darren says he's questioning 7 years ago and says, and you stick around. Interesting. Um, Darren, it's it could take some time before you prayerfully make it out. Um, there's a rep, sometimes you go back 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 times before that one particular time that you don't go back. Um, she said he was insulting me and calling me names, and the hitting was already happening, and I got tired of not fighting back. So you were already being physically abused before you were emotionally and mentally abused. Um, MedLife says one cycle is a complete circle. It only continues if the connection is not broken. Keyword broken. Now, in this situation, this can go either one or two ways. If something's not done, either he could lose his life or she could lose hers. And this is what we don't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey, DJ Diamond Lee.
Hey, yes, yes. He was insulting me and I couldn't take it anymore. And I slapped him because he throat chopped me. Then he stood up and punched me in the face and put a hole in my face beside my mouth.
You know, this is pissing me off because
This
I had to
is,
deal with this with my mom.
it went all the way through, and I had to go to the ER and get stitches.
Mm, mm, mm.
Right, Molly.
Trigger warning, trigger
Yes,
warning.
this is trigger warnings. This is trigger warnings at this point. Molly said I had to go no contact. I hear about yes, yes, I did too, Molly. I did too. Um, Dr. Dady said, Disco agree. However, you can always assume it begins with women. This is also why it's important to recognize the red flags on the front end. The verbal abuse and triggers all are signs of the bigger picture. That is true. And but what about the red flags? Some don't see red flags. Some see, oh, well, he loves me. This is why he does that, or he loves me. This is why, he says this. Or if you didn't make me, if you didn't make me mad, if you didn't make this, or you didn't say this to me, or if you didn't do this, I wouldn't be. We're accountable for our actions. We're all accountable for our actions. Nobody makes us do anything. If you're upset, is how you channel your emotions. So the guilt, and that's the part of the narcissism. You make me. You made me. If you wouldn't have, because they have to have some type of power. Oh, narcissism is a whole nother level of discussion. Um, Molly told Disco uh, if he has his hold on her, it could be too strong even through a breakup. That is true. That is true.
Oh, Prodigy is only an hour late tonight.
Um, Heather said the emotional and mental abuse comes first. That it came first. What? Okay.
Wow.
In your words, when it comes to emotional, mental, what made you stay? What actually made you stay when you noticed the emotional and mental abuse? Hey, Ratchick. Hello, DJ Diamond Lee. Come on in, family. How are you? Come on in. This is a
What's up,
trigger warning.
Stars?
Disco say he don't know me. I do make house calls. This won't be the first time. Prodigy, just go sit in the back of the church. Just slide on in the back of the church. You're a whole hour late.
How about he on time?
Hey, my stars. Hello. Hello. Come on in. Come on in. The self-awareness of acknowledging that we are the common denominator when attracting certain personalities is crucial for pivoting and doing shadow work. But Dr. Dady, how do we get there? Because like in the midst of what Heather is going through, um, the self-awareness, the red flags, sometimes it's the wooing, the courting that make you feel so good. They make you feel like you've never felt before. So you lose that self-awareness because you're trying to get that love that you were missing or that you want that may not be in the best form. Oh, Heather. Yeah, that would happen. Yeah, I have blocked him for years, off and on, and he contacted me back in October, and I thought I would give him another shot.
Do y'all have kids together, Heather? Is that why?
Yeah, Mad Live, she said that she thought she would give him another shot. So we're about to find out if she's still there. That was back in October. He has not hit me recently. So there's that. But right now I'm dealing with the emotional and mental stuff, and I don't deserve this crap. No, you don't. No, you don't. What is it going to take in your mind and in your feelings, Heather? What is it going to take for you to break this tie again and block this? for good? What are you in your mind that is going to help you? Prodigy, yes, you can go to the back.
Mm.
Okay, I didn't stay. I broke up with him before he got out of prison for punching me because I was scared. Because I was scared. Oh, bless it. Bless it. No, Prodigy, you don't get the good church candy. You get the ones that's in the bottom of the usher's purse and the mothers of the church purse. That's, the peppermint, the butterscotch, and that strawberry gel candy that's got full of lint and it tastes like perfume. And you also get Freedent. You don't get the good gum. You get Freedent.
Oh.
So we were
I was about to
apart.
say, you like that strawberry candy, but you said it had lint on it, so I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, down in the bottom of the purse. So we were apart and not talking for a couple of years. Okay. So what we're gonna do? Yes, sir. Yes, this is the first series on anger, but we had Heather come in and say that she really needed this because of the domestic violence she's dealing with. So she's gone through the physical, emotional, mental. So we're just, putting our arms around her and just, trying to give her advice, empowering her, educating her. So, yes. DJ King Royal 21, good evening. No, you don't need him for anything. You don't need him for nothing. Nothing. You are gorgeous. You are divine. You are strength.
Mm-hmm.
Believe you me, you are strength because you're here talking about it. You're here dealing with it. And you're understanding that you don't need him for anything. And you have the support right here. You have the support. And of course, the men are going to be a little bit more like, okay, where do we need to come to? What's going on? We don't play that. And they're in their rightful stance to do that. But the women in this room that have been through what you're going through, give yourself grace because we're extending that grace because we know what it feels like to go through something like that. And it doesn't even have to be an intimate relationship. It could be family. It could be friends. Narcissists come in different forms. Abusers come in different forms. It's not always just intimate relationships. They have to have power in order to continue to thrive. Once you take that power away from them, they can no longer thrive. So what they do is they go and say, okay, maybe if I go around this way, or maybe if I go around that way, I can, intertwine, make it seem like everything is good. And then next thing you know, here they go again, the same repetitive behavior. And like Molly said, narcissists are so dangerous because they're using systems they have survived on for years, and they're very good at what they do, manipulation.
Oh my gosh. Say it for the people in the back.
Say it for the people in the back again. Um, wow, this is wow. Um, like I said, we come in, we talk, and but if there's a situation that needs to be dealt with, we're going to stop and we're going to deal with that situation, talk about it, and hopefully and prayerfully we give that person some release and relief.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, best lady, hello. You don't have to be on your best behavior in here, like Prodigy told you. Heather says, I worked on me a lot and got mentally healthy again, and then he hit me up again when I was single and happy. That's when it happens. That's when it happens. That's when it happens. That's exactly when it happens, when you have your strength and your power. Disco said the worst gum ever. That's why I say Prodigy get Freedent. He doesn't even get that. What's that other bad gum? Fruit stripe.
Bubblicious.
No, fruit stripe. He don't even get fruit stripe.
Yeah, fruit stripe lasts for like 5 seconds.
Dr. Dave said Frida. Now I haven't heard of that since before my dad passed. You know, Frida, they had to chew that when they had the denture so it wouldn't stick to their denture.
Oh wow.
Man, last I already got my bag of nickels packed and ready to go. Yes.
Uh-uh.
Welcome to Lynn's Chat with Team Dopeness. We are glad you're here. On standby? Yes, definitely. I told you this crew stay ready. So again, all right. So stay in here, Heather. We're right here.
Did she ever ask, did she ever answer if she had kids or not?
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that part. Heather says, yes, exactly. It's like going around and around and around and around again. And I'm a broken record. I feel crazy sometimes. We just got off FaceTime before I came in here, and everything is an investigation.
So he's controlling you by
Right. That manipulation.
no kids. Thank goodness. You can pack up right now and go. You ain't got to worry about kids in it.
Yes.
Well,
Ratchet said free dent. Am I shocking everybody because I said free dent?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we got the whole gang on standby. Yes, we do. We do. Okay, so we're gonna continue while everybody is kind of like, talking to Heather in the chat.
Everybody getting their Vaseline out and
They're
stuff.
getting their Vaseline, taking their earrings off and everything. Ratchet said we old. So we stopped at feelings of fear. So resentment, a suppressed anger that makes a person feel like blaming others for it. Resentment. What's the on for? Come on, Chris, come with it.
I'm still a work in progress, and I try not to resent too many people, but there are some that I just like when I hear their name, my ass itch. Like it's just.
I'm gonna tell you, like my great grandmother said. Sometimes when I hear some names, it make my butt cut cardwood.
Your butt
like,
cut cardwood.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, that person made my butt cut cardwood," and I'm like, "What is cardwood, Mama?" She talking about it's the hardest wood you could ever find, and he make my butt cut cardwood. I'm like, wait, I don't want nobody cardwood. I'm telling you, that's the old. That is my great grandmother used to say.
Yes, man. Live. I mean, everybody has had an itchy booty before. So hopefully people are washing their asses now. But as a kid, you remember when your booty was itchy when you didn't know how to clean your ass? So when you hear certain people's names, it makes your ass itch. It just be like, oh, it's just like, that's what I mean.
We want a name drop. And here she is.
Yes. Welcome in, Miss Riz.
Y'all off the chain.
I'm not doing nothing. I was just telling them about Frida and stuff.
And I was just talking about them itchy booties. So
and
ain't doing nothing.
I'm sorry, I'm late. I was teaching a class, so I had to eat. Then I had to pour a cocktail after that. So
So what we're gonna do? Wait a minute. Sincere's coming out alert for the booty itch. Oh God.
Oh,
can we just have a moment of silence for the chat? Heather, we cut up in here too. Look, everybody want to know his name. Dr. Data says he on Twitch. Oh my God.
Like what region are you in? Like are you in the West Coast?
Everybody wants to know the name. They want to know. The peoples want to know. Thank you for your subscription through Prime, Heather. Who just said that again? Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Y'all just went left.
But see, and Sincere said it sure did make me drop my Popeyes. I knew you was eating chicken. Yeah, we serious in here, but we do have a moment of cutting up, Heather. So you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh in here. But I brought my big sister on, who is also a life coach. her whole specialty is emotional intelligence. And I'm glad she is on here so she can really speak and, and help us out with anger. This is right up her level with the emotions. Um, Sissy, what advice or that you can give Heather in what she's dealing with?
Wow.
We've been there.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
been there.
I think I have a delay too. Wow. It's tough. She doesn't have children, right?
No,
No
Which
children.
is
no
which is
children.
good, unfortunately, but fortunately for this situation, it's good. But I mean, I didn't hear everything, all the conversation, but I'm gonna say this and hopefully it's received right.
He put her in the hospital.
Right. He put her in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and her life is, and she feels her life is being threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, I guess I get to, I've been in that situation, right? You with
Right.
that person, damn well they're no good for you, but for whatever reason you love them, whatever the case is. We're not here to judge that because we all have our own stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
there's something in us that there's something in us that's off that allows us to stay in that situation. And I'm not, and listen, remember, I've been there. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not judging anybody. Mine was fear,
Mm-hmm.
right? We all know that it was fear, but it was also, I didn't know who I was.
Mm-mm.
And because I didn't know who I was, and then I had this person who had me manipulated, because right, there's narcissists. I I was always trying to figure out a way to make things work, make things better, and see him in a different light. When I stopped and started looking at myself and realizing that there was nothing wrong with me, but that I was so broken and that I was not using the power that I truly had to make a move. Because I had the power, but I was so broken and I was so
Right.
afraid. And I was so conditioned to live in that environment, as painful and as unhealthy as it was.
Right.
And so then I got to the point, and it was a struggle where I had kids. I have kids.
Yes.
And when I felt like my child was threatened, that
Mm-hmm.
was my driver. But everybody doesn't have that. So Heather, you don't have that driver. But you are that driver. You, if you had a child, you would fight for that child. I believe. I don't know you. If you had to defend someone's life, I believe you probably would. This is your life. I had to, in more than one situation where I had to be strategic about my get out. I couldn't just leave. People like, leave. Where am I going with my three babies?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Where am I
Right.
going with my three babies? Yeah, okay, you leave. Are you coming to get me? Because if you're not coming to get me and protect me, I ain't going nowhere yet. But I was strategic. I started looking at his habits, watching how he moved, really paying attention to how he moved, and planning my next.
Your sound.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, I planned my escape. That's what I did. I planned my escape. And that's what you may have to do, Heather, as scary as it is, because it's going to take courage. Y'all hear me say this: courage, community, and commitment. So, who's in your community? Who do you have that you can trust to help you as you plan?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I had a,
Community.
I
Community.
had a plan. And I stuck to my plan because my baby's life was at risk. But then what became clear was that I was worried about my babies. But if I didn't worry about me, they wouldn't have. I'm still hurting my babies. Y'all know, you hear what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So y'all got me on the wrong now. I'm like, I'm just, whoo, yeah. This is
We got you on the right night,
it's
Mama.
tough.
Yeah.
We got you on the right night. Whenever you step in and you like, I know I came in right on time. We got you on the right night.
Yeah, it's
We
tough.
got you on the right night. She
Yeah.
says, um, if he isn't digging and insulting me, then he's super sweet and loving and kind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we believe the hype because that's what it is. It's hype.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't know any better. They are. It's like, okay, I consider narcissists. They're parasites.
Yes.
They're like parasites, and so they will suck on that hose until there's nothing left. And then they will find another host. Most narcissists, when they leave you, they got somebody else. They got somebody in the lineup on the bench
Mm-hmm.
because that is their food. So you stop being their food.
Lord have mercy. I tell you, I'm in awe because one thing I love about our stream is the fact that we may have this lined out. We're going to go this, and this. But then someone who needs help comes in,
Mm-hmm.
He always has
and
a, sorry. I just saw
we
what you put.
we do what we need to do to help them survive.
Right.
And like I said, I know we're not going to get this covered because we had to take a moment and pause and say, okay, we have a serious situation here. Let's deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about levels of anger, we have pain, which we covered, the feeling of betrayal that feels like a physical wound, hurt, easier to acknowledge than conquer. This is born of a sense of injustice, creating the need to retaliate. Fear, feelings of loss of control, and anticipation of hurt that leads to lashing out. And we're at resentment, a suppressed anger that makes a person feel like blaming others for it. Um, and it sounds like with what Heather is dealing with, it seems like it's a bit of all of these so far. Now, what are your thoughts and what do you have to share, Fixes?
I don't know. That was a lot. I have to. I have. You'd have to read those back to me.
Okay. When it comes to pain, the first level, the feeling of being betrayed that feels like a physical wound. We talked earlier about the pain when you're going through pain, and we talked about would you rather what is the easier to get past, mental, emotional, or the physical?
Easiest to get past is the
Mm-hmm.
physical. I
That's what
believe.
that's what we all said.
Right? Because a wound's going to heal. You put some Vaseline, whatever your thing is, you do that. But when you get into my head and you get into my heart,
Hard.
yeah, that's hard.
That
Because
is very hard.
it's like being brainwashed. And the head is like being brainwashed. And we know what happens when you get brainwashed.
Absolutely.
And the heart,
Absolutely.
the heart rules our emotions. Before we can even, when something happens, before we have the logical mindset to act, our emotions have already driven us to do something. So if something happens, we feel it and then we respond. And sometimes we respond from what we feel before our mind says, "Oh, what you doing?" By the time our mind says what you're doing, we've already done.
Yeah. And Heather, you're right. No abuse is okay. No abuse is okay at all.
Right?
You are sitting here with two of us that have gone through what you have gone through, and one and Chris that has seen it. She's not experienced, but she's seen it. So we completely feel, me and Miss Riz completely feel exactly what you're feeling because we have experienced it. So that's why it's like so dear to us to try to make sure that we can help save another life from going through what we went through. Thank God we're still here. Some didn't make it. And Miss Riz has a very deep story. And some women don't make it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, man, live. We're ladies, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're queens. No level of abuse is okay.
That's right.
Do not allow anyone to say, you made me angry, or try to use their anger to abuse you. This is not a touchy subject for us, but it's just when you've been there and you've walked the shoes and you see a beautiful soul come in the chat that says, hey,
Mm-hmm.
blah, I need this because I'm going through this, that, and the other. You stop and you let them know it is not okay with what you're dealing with. It's not okay what you're going through. It's okay to love,
Mm-hmm.
but don't allow your love to be the reason why you're either in the hospital or you're no longer here or you're locked up. Because one of the three will happen
Mm-hmm.
if you don't. Because most people feel like, well, some people feel like, okay, she's the one being abused. So she's the one that's going to get hurt. Sometimes we snap. It's called snapped.
This is true.
Snapped. Y'all remember the TV show Snapped?
Yep.
Remember that boiling water sitting on the stove, them grits?
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. And does anybody remember The Burning Bed? The movie The Burning Bed? She was being abused and she kept trying to leave. And the only way she knew to leave was pour alcohol, gasoline on the bed, set it on fire to get her kids out.
I don't remember seeing that. When
No.
did that come out?
Yeah, look up the Burning Bed.
It's old.
I know you wanted to snap many times. I know you did. It's almost like it's a given that you just want to snap. You lay there, you think about ways to get out. You think about, okay, if I take him out as misery, then I got my way out. But then if I take him out as misery, I might be locked up on myself or I might lose my kids. You lay there at night going through a whole emotional breakdown just to think about how to get out.
But the other side too is that as long as, and this is part of how we are as women, and I think that's just the way we are designed, is that as long as we think there is some hope, as long as we think that it's not that, sometimes it's not that you're trying to excuse the behavior, it's wrong, you're being mistreated, but if you think that there's some hope that you can help this person, because you see some potential in them.
Yes.
So, sometimes we're so damn helpful to our own detriment. That's just the bottom line, right?
And you're right.
I can help him. I can help her. I can help. And we
I
keep.
can love him back to life. He didn't had a hard trauma. He didn't had a hard childhood. He's been through so much. So maybe if I show him the love his mother didn't show him, is this and that and the other didn't show him, maybe I can love his soul back to life.
Right. Or maybe I can love him the way I was not loved. Maybe I can be, we felt like we were throwaway or something, life happened. And so someone didn't choose to take a chance on us. Someone chose not to love us. So I'm not going to do this to this person. Now, they got some jacked up ways, but I'm going to, that's the other part of it. And so I will never blame a woman or a man for making the choices that they make. That's not my story. But all I know is that sometimes you have to, the same energy we put into saving every damn body else, we need to save ourselves. And it's hard. It's so much easier to think outside of me and focus on you. Because when I have to focus on me, I have to clean my glasses off. I have to pull back
Mm-hmm.
the curtain. I have to
Mm-hmm.
own what's mine, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
take action. And action is painful sometimes.
Painful.
So what you
But
do?
you know what? Go back to what you just said because I heard that resonate in my head because that's what you told me in the big sister voice. And Heather, when we speak of accountability, support, this is what we're talking about, what you're experiencing right now. You cling on to that support system that's trying to help build you. And this young woman, both of these ladies, they stayed on me. But my big sister that's sitting right here, she just like flats out tells me what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do. And she holds me accountable for that. I can kick, scream, but sissy, but this, but that. No, because she sees and she knows what's in my best interest. And she does not allow me to go down that path that I might not, you know, I don't need to go. I ain't gonna say might not. I don't need to go. But I guarantee you, even if I would never do it because I could hear her in my head. But even if I did, guess what she's gonna do? She's gonna throw that lifeline out there and reel me back, and she might be, yelling, screaming a little bit, but she's still gonna reel
I'm gonna
me
put
in.
that hook in you.
Exactly. And she's gonna reel me in. And Chris is the same way. She's gonna tell you how it is. She's gonna love on you, but at the same time, she's not gonna be like, well, that's your problem. She did it. I told her not to. She's gonna throw that lifeline out there and she gonna be saying some real awful words while she's reeling that line in. And this is why, you were led here. I, I don't know what brought you here per se, if you saw the flyer, someone told you, but we're thankful you're here. You were led here because you're talking. And a lot of times, be it men or women, they don't talk about what they're going through personally because they feel embarrassed by it. But there's no embarrassment here because what you're finding out is that you're finding out women like us have gone through what you have experienced. I've gone back before. Oh, thinking a couple of years is, oh, maybe they done changed or this and that and the other. And here we are again. Once that honeymoon period is over with.
Right. I went back and had a baby.
Right.
And no, so
It just happens.
right,
It
but it's
happens.
my
It's
story.
like
It's my
it's
story, and
it's
it
the
just reminds
story. Like I say, you don't know my story. That is Life in Favor is like one of my favorite songs because you don't know my story unless you have been there or if you're in my immediate circle
me.
and we have grown to share our stories with each other.
Mhm.
Otherwise, outside looking in, you don't know my story to judge me, even though I may have self-inflicted some things on myself. It's still my story, my journey for me to be able to say, hey, I came out of that and I'm still here. I'm
Mhm.
still here. And Heather, we're glad that you're still here. Miss BJ, how are you? Come on in, Queen. Um, so bitterness. Bitterness layers of resentment that become so deep rooted that they start poisoning the other emotions.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about that, Sissy?
Like anger is like the gateway. It's like the open to anger. But if you get past that and you get into that bitterness, that's like anger is not the poison. Bitterness is the poison.
Mm-hmm.
Because bitterness extends everywhere. It's all throughout you and everything that you touch. You moving through that energy of bitterness. That's heavy. It's heavy and it's harmful because just say for example you have
let's say, for example, that my child's father, I was bitter against him. I was
Mhm.
mad and
Woo.
I was angry, but if I was bitter, I might be in jail right now. And I mean, I'm talking about after the fact, because I went through the stuff, right? But when you're bitter, even when you're done, I'm done with you, but I'm not going to let the bitterness, because if the bitterness comes in, I'm going to poison you and
But
everything
sis, I
that
can
comes,
tell you, I
every,
went through the bitterness. I'm here to tell you, I'm here. I went through the bitterness to where it literally started taking over my emotions of thinking rational. All I wanted was revenge. All I wanted was to get back. All I wanted was to make you hurt like you hurt me.
and all I wanted was your ass gone, and you were gone away from me, and I'm good. But that was me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, what
I've
about
even
you?
had I've even had daydreams of me getting a hitman. That way my hands are good, but I'm like, all those dang true crime, they're gonna find out that I'm the one that told somebody to kill him off. The only thing that's stopping me, because they gonna find out. They're gonna find out that I got a hitman to kill the person off. So, and then that'll be guilt on my heart. But that's just how my mind is.
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly say that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I'm a be completely open when it comes to this, because it is an emotion, and if you don't get it under control, it's the catalyst to woohoo. You know, I
Gateway.
actually thought I actually thought about cooking and putting some antifreeze. Back then, the antifreeze was like tasteless, and things like that. It was just so much going on in my brain to
Right.
where it's like I want to get back because I felt the hurt and pain to my soul. So it was like I want to get back. I just wanted to like suffer. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna suffer. Not realizing, okay, crazy. This your life. Like you still have children. I need you to get this under control. And thank God, that was the very, 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 very old me, younger back in my younger days. It man, I said I'm scared now. DJ should tell
Hey, and as a nurse, I know where to give a lethal injection of insulin that they cannot find on
exactly.
the
When you know
So,
certain things, it's like you know how they had them pins, Chris, the little pins, and you just boop, just like that. You wouldn't even know you
you can't
stuck.
even see that on the
You
autopsy,
can't even
right?
see it. But
No.
this is just sometimes where your mind goes. We're not okay. Look, look. It's in the stream elements that our views are our views. Okay, please. Okay, it's
We are
already
not
in there. We're
acting on it.
warning
Don't
you.
have the
This
cops
is
putting us to
trigger
our
warning.
core.
But
This
but
is all in our
our
head.
views are just our views. Okay.
This is what we
Heather said,
want to
"Thank
do,
you
but we
all so
didn't do
much."
it.
So she says, "Thank you all so much. I feel the love and support, and I'm very thankful. You are so welcome.
You're
This
welcome.
this is what you receive here, along with
Man,
a little bit of laughs to keep you going, because you have to laugh sometime throughout these sets because when something like this comes in that heavy, and it's a trigger warning for others and yourself, you kind of got to get a little bit of a laugh in there somewhere,
mhm.
to keep on going. Hey, Latoya, hello, come on in. Thank you for being here. You said
Hey.
yes, bitterness is. So Matt Lai said he's scared now. He said he's scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be
He said
scared.
I'm scared now.
You
Don't
can
be scared. Chanel B, hello, Queen, come on in. The B
Spirit
side is in the
twin.
house.
What's
He
up,
said I'm
Stella?
going to DJ Matt Lai said I'm going to learn to keep my mouth closed.
We better now. That was behind it, but don't let the niceness fool you. We can still pull it
Right,
out.
right,
right.
right, right.
So
Exactly.
it's
It's
still
all
there.
all feel it for some reason. I mean, I felt bitterness at different points, but not when I was trying to get to that other side. In a way, I didn't.
Hmm.
I think bitterness says, like I said, it's like my clothes feel like they.
I know my bra keeps showing up. I'm like, oh, why is the clothes falling off of me?
because the clothes want to come off. I've been
come off. They want to come off. But
all
it just, hey, look, before y'all say anything, men, no, they cannot. Okay.
yeah, I'm like, okay, this bra is choking me. But anyway, so I think that the anger for me, the anger was I just want out. You do your life, I do mine. I don't wish you no harm, even though
Mm-hmm.
you did some stuff to me. I just want you gone. But I had to
Right.
still deal because I had a child. I didn't because people don't do what they're supposed to. Sidebar. But Bitter would have said, I want you, Harpo, the way you treat me, blah blah. It would have been one of those type things where I wanted to just wish him death.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would have been consumed with that because of the bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be I didn't like his ass, still don't like his ass. Let's be real. But
Right.
I didn't want to be consumed with that energy that would keep me down and still remind me of all that I had been through. I didn't want to forget what I've been through, but I didn't
Right.
want that pain. And then I had a child. I didn't want to, I was never that mother that said anything about my child's father. I didn't do that. I waited till that she was old enough to see things for herself, and then we
Herself.
had the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could have said he's a low down, dirty, blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
and do that. And I just I was so sad inside that I didn't want to hold on to bitterness because that was going to just make me even sadder.
Right.
So that was my thing. Um, but it wasn't because I still had hope for him. It wasn't because I still loved him. It was
Mm-hmm.
because I was learning to love myself enough to want to just not have
Yes.
to carry that. That was all
Yes.
it was.
Yes. Hello, Cello. Hello, fam. L7 Kings, welcome. Long time no see.
You else?
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
Heather
Elsa.
says exactly when you have that energy of bitterness and resentment, it's bad for yourself. And that's what I realized too.
Mhm.
Yes. Mad Love, you said this is starting to hurt. I love you, but I'm going to listen to some music now.
Oh
Mad
God.
Love, I already know how you are. Just keep it on alert mode and just turn it down if you need to. Um, I know
All
how
right,
you are.
Mad Live.
I know how you are. So
You're gonna have folks streaming, doing them late night streams. It's a kind of shit.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna kind of touch on just lightly a couple of other ones because I know it's gotten really, really heavy.
Mhm.
But we needed to do what we needed to do when it comes to saving a life, empowering a life, um, coaching, and just showing love and support. And that's what we do here at Team Dopeness. We should we lens check, and sometimes when we have to lens check, those lenses is not always going to be clear on that side until we get through cleaning up our mess
Yeah.
to be ordered to see through those lenses clearly. And sometimes it takes the hard stuff before we can even get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how would you feel? I used to think, oh, I want to just get here quick. Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Sometimes trying to get there quick is not always the best thing for you. And only spirit knows how and what you can handle at that moment in time. So it is very important to just take a moment to just lens check, self-reflect, think about others, but also put yourself in the mirror. And definitely, if you're not at a point to where you can share and help others in that moment, it's okay. It is totally okay. Just allow someone else or another support system to come in to assist that person until you get to where you need to be. And that's word unquoted from Miss Riz to me. So now I'm to the point to where I am back able to do the things that are given to me to share because I was able to go into the isolation mode, to lens check, to take my time, to have accountability partners, a loving support system that has my back and can see when it's time for me to lens check on another level. And this is why we embrace our inner dopeness. And this is why I call it that, because you're embracing your mind, body, and spirit, and you're also embracing others' mind, body, and spirit, like we did tonight. Did we
Mhm.
cover half of what me and Chris had kind of written? No, we didn't. But like I said, that's the beauty of this stream is that number one, it's never scripted, but we
Mhm.
are stopped in the moment to
Mhm.
help someone else. And that is what it's all about,
Yeah.
without judgment.
You know
Even if you don't understand their whys and hows, just show love because you're going to be here to learn the hows and the whys. But it's just about being here, being transparent. And like I said, if you cannot be there for someone, please be honest. Because one of the worst things is if you say, hey, I'm here for you, I have your back, and they reach out to you, and every time they're reaching out, they're getting no response, or, it's like they feel like, okay, she said she was there, but she's really not. It's like I tell our men the same thing. Men, be there for each other. There's nothing wrong with being there for your fellow man. It's
Mm-mm.
not weak. It's,
No.
it shows strength in you. Women, stop being crabs in barrel because it's not your time in the moment. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. But if you continuously block or not show support to another queen because she may have gotten up there before you, your time is coming. You just have to stay steadfast and focus. But if you get offline, it's not going to work well in that magnitude. So again, this is all about support. This is all about empowerment. It is all about coaching because we all have been through something in life, whether it's self-inflicted or whether just life just happens. But you have to lens check deeply. It's like I say, you have to die daily. Every day is your birthday. You're just given a day that you actually were born, but every day is your birthday. And with these days and times,
Hmm.
when you wake up and breathe in the morning, you've been birthed. Just you've been birthed. And now you can face whatever needs to be in a positive manner. Does things make you angry? Oh, yes, they do. And it's okay to be angry. It's just how you channel that angerness in the highest of elevation that you possibly can. And it's okay to talk to someone. If you feel like your anger is out of control or you're still suffering from a trauma and you still have that resentment, that bitterness, you feel frustrated, it's time for therapy. It's time for coaching. It's time for you to release that drama. It's time for you to release that trauma. It's time for you to release whatever is holding you. When you go through anger at the levels of resentment, bitterness, regret, rage, it doesn't end well unless you get the support that you need. Look at road rage because you're angry because somebody made a made her cut you off, but wouldn't have killed you, but
Mm.
they would have cut you off. You get out and you go shoot this person. For what? Because you allowed your anger to get to that level. Now, your life is over. If you have a family, children, all of that, I mean, think about your decisions before you make them in the moment of being angry. If you have to go decompress, take a walk. Sissy, you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
my
you
brain
can
is on.
go ahead.
I'm listening to you, and it's a lot of things that you're saying that just hit. So for one, I had a training this evening. I wasn't going to be on tonight, come into your stream tonight because I had just finished doing the training. But the first session of the training I did was on values. And it's interesting how we're talking about anger, and sometimes anger is the way we respond and react are based on some value, right? So a lot of times we feel
Mhm,
disrespected. Oh, you cut me off, you disrespected me, I'm gonna
mhm,
jump, whatever we do. And when you get to the root of it, a lot of times we don't even question our values.
mhm,
What makes that disrespectful because you cut me off? Like, what is it? And sometimes it is, but we
mhm.
sometimes spend so much of our life defending values that are not really even ours. We didn't have to question them. You know, we may have adopted them or been adapted because of environment and society and things like that, but we hold on to these things to see them as truths, and then we behave in a certain way, and we end up being mad about this or mad about that and respond in that way, and that's where that anger comes from sometimes. So I just had to throw that in there because I was thinking about, again, about values and the things that we value and how important it is for us to be clear on our values and what we're willing to stand for, even
Mhm.
in situations of domestic violence. Like, what do we value? What can we stand for and stand on? If you're not a person who's experienced that, but you have seen it, are you willing to stand up against it? So all that goes to values.
Yes.
I
You
am.
see how things align? Do you see how things align?
Yeah,
And
because
like
I
I
sure
said,
was taking off my bra, baby. I was ready to just.
Shoot. As
I
soon as
was
this is
like,
over, this thing's getting flung across the room. I don't know why.
when I say you see how it aligns, you weren't gonna, come and be able to make it tonight, but you walked in on time. You came in right on time when you were supposed to,
yep.
because this is our mission. This is the mission. This is part of our mission. This is part of the movement. And no matter, it doesn't matter whether you try to avoid it or you try to be like, it's gonna hit you. It's gonna come. So, who are you talking about, me, Lex Diamonds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she came back in here trolling.
I tell you, I tell you the truth. And Lena, we didn't want to, miss you.
Hmm.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Um,
I
Chris,
must say, I've matured a lot. I've matured a lot because I actually lost a few friends in my 20s that just could not get out their abusive relationships because I just got tired and tired of going to save them, tired of getting them out the hospital, tired of wanting to beat the shit out of their boyfriends. And I was like, you have to get out of the situation, but that's not what you do. You have to keep fighting with them because it takes a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
Hmm.
takes a
Yeah, I
while.
mean, so it's draining to you as well.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Because
So,
we don't talk
any,
enough about we don't talk enough about the support system, right? We don't talk enough, I don't feel, about
mhm,
those who are standing, like the Christians, like you're standing by watching this, and you that is trauma as well, right?
right,
We think
right,
about the person that's experienced it, the person that we care about, and then we're there saving them, patching them up, getting them out the hospital, doing this,
mhm,
letting them sleep on your couch, doing all the things.
mhm,
And and our hands are still kind of tied because you can't go and beat them up. You can't go punch them out. You can. I mean, not we can, but we don't, right? And
right,
so when every time you go back to that person, every time you go back to that abusive person, it's like a dagger in that in your support system.
It is.
And you
Yeah.
don't, and it's hard because it's like you can't, it's almost like you can't help yourself, right? It's like I can't help
Right.
I hurt you, but I'm stuck over here. So I think it's important for us to remember that when we are in support sisters, sometimes we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves because we're dealing with that too. We're being abused secondhand.
Right.
Mhm. It's like secondhand smoke.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. That is a very good point. Very good point right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your support system sees what you're going through, and it's like, again, they're there. I went through it. How many times you gonna go back? How many times you gonna keep going through this? You know, moving in, moving out, moving to seeing, moving out, moving to seeing, moving out. You know, like you said, Chris, sometimes people walk away from there and be like, you know what? You stressing me out. I've saved you like 5, 6 times. You keep doing the same old things,
Right.
you know? But then you have ones that, you know, are just like, okay, let's go get her, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been, you know, a victim and I've seen victims.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've done the same thing. Well, let's go get her. And again, men, please don't get it twisted. Men get abused too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about abuse all the way around. They're angry. There are women that are angry too that are very abusive. So, men, this goes to you too. This is just not for our ladies. This is for everyone that is suffering. And what about the children? Like I said, we had so much to cover. We were talking about children and anger. And these days and times, these children are angry
Oh
at
my
the
gosh.
smallest little thing. Angry. So how are we going to support them through this? You know, because they're on a whole nother level of anger.
And that's why I was so angry. All I saw was my mom getting her ass beat all the time. And that made me very angry. And that's how I dealt with stuff. I hit, punched, all that, screamed. Because that's all I saw when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. And it's taken me this long to finally figure out how to control it. I was so angry all the time.
And that is what our children are seeing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So many DSS cases to where the mom is being abused and the children are seeing it. Now it's, you know, they're in classrooms hitting, lashing out, um, getting in trouble.
Yep.
And it's like it's a never ending cycle.
Right.
And that's why I say, you know, it's hard. Is it a difficult journey to help break generational cycles? Yes, indeed. Indeed. However, like tonight, if you, my sister always says, would you say if you save one person or you impact one person,
Yep.
your assignment was completed? And I feel that that's what we did tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we allowed this stream to go the way that it needed to go.
Yep.
And I'm thankful for it. Okay, Chris, I got you. I'm thankful for it um, because it just lets me know that we're going in the right direction to continue our movement and what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. Um, hey, RL Breezy, hello, come on in. Oh yeah, Breezy is a good one with education. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, he says there's no way to escape our youth. Some of our triggers and pain comes from the part of that part of our life. You're absolutely right. So Breezy, look for a panel invite because we're going to talk about uh, anger when it comes to our youth. And I know you work in the education system, and Miss Riz, Chris, all of us will get together to do that panel. and we can kind of just cover all in one and bringing our children into that. First Lady, sister, I hope I spoke. If I didn't, hello, darling.
I have a soft spot for the babies because we didn't have therapy like that back then. I probably could have benefited from therapy after seeing my mom go through all that, and no one checked on me. So I had to learn how to deal with it growing up, and I'm surprised I'm alive right now. All the situations
because you had a purpose. Your purpose is what you're doing right now with the babies. And your purpose is where you at right in this very moment. In this very moment. To be able to be transparent, to be able to share, to be able to therapize as well.
And to see that that you can come out on the other side. That's it's hope. Like I said earlier, when people see hope, we keep and that's what you represent, because you represent hope. That's what we all represent.
Yeah. Yes. So we're going to, I want to show this last video. I watched it like 3 times.
I need to go.
Okay, thank you, sis. I'm gonna get with you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. So I'm gonna show this this video, and I want this to be just kind of be in your brain. Just think about it and share this with someone if need be.
I want to share this very important story. It's about 2 brothers. But it's about much more than 2 brothers. In fact, it could be about sisters. And it could be about you, even if you don't have any siblings. It's also about an alcoholic father. But it's about much more than an alcoholic father. You see, this story I'm about to tell you is relevant to everyone. Yes, you as well. So the story tells us there were 2 brothers, twin brothers. These brothers grew up with an alcoholic father. He wasn't just an alcoholic father. He was an angry drunk. He was angry. He was bitter. He was aggressive. And he was abusive, both verbally and physically. This father was the worst kind of example someone could be for their children. And these 2 twin brothers watched this unfold from the moment their eyes could see and the moment their ears could hear. They watched their father all through their childhood, their teenage years, and right up until they moved out of the family home. Unfortunately, their dad never changed. The drinking never stopped. The bitterness grew. The anger at the world grew, and the blaming of all his problems on the world never stopped. Fast forward many years later. The boys are now adults, 40-year-old adults. Their father is in prison for violent crimes, and not for the first time, but so is someone else. His son, but only one of the twins. The mother of the twin goes to visit her son in prison, and she asks the son, "How did you end up like this?" Angered at her question, he responds, "My father was an alcoholic. What choice did I have?" He blamed his father for how his life turned out. After all, he was the role model for such behavior. On the way home, the mother went to visit the other twin. This twin's life turned out a bit different. He has never touched a drop of alcohol in his life. He is happily married with 2 beautiful children and lives a very happy, successful life. The mother asks this son, "How did you end up like this?" He responds, "My father was an angry alcoholic." What choice did I have? I didn't want that life for myself. I remember watching him thinking, that will never be me. No matter what, I wanted the opposite for my life and my kids' lives. The moral of the story? It doesn't matter what happens to us. It only matters what meaning we give to what happens to us. That is what shapes our lives. That is what shapes who we will become. We can choose to blame other people and the world for where we are in life, or who we become, like the brother in prison. Or we can see the negative things in our lives as a blessing, as guidance for what we do not want for our life, as strong reminders that we can and should do better, and that better is not going to be easy. But through work on ourselves, through radical responsibility, we can create a better world for ourselves and our family, for everyone we care about. We can live in anger and bitterness and point out everything that is wrong with the world. We won't have to search long to find it. Or we can see the good in others and the good in all situations. We can trust that even the hardest of challenges are sent for our benefit. And if we search, we won't have to search long to find it. We can be a victim of life or the victor. We can see the mess in everything, or the blessing in everything. We can choose to take responsibility for our actions, not the circumstances, not the horrible things other people do, but our actions and reactions. Or we can let circumstances and other people control our quality of life. Question is, what do you choose?
Damn, that was so deep. Shit. I'm the second twin. My mom, when she kicked me out at 17, she thought I was going to get pregnant and be homeless and be not worth shit. And look at me now.
Look at you now. Look at all of you embracing your inner dopeness. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going to carry you out on this right here. Chris, you know you're my A1, and I want to thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to continue this series. But everyone, I hope this has been informative. I hope we helped you. But I want you to remember to be a positive light to yourself and others. Affirm yourself. Speak you into existence. Say it out loud without judgment. And most of all, don't forget to live shit, because I am worth it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please copy the red message and let's ride over and show the next DJ some love.
Mm-hmm.
I will see you later.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
I'm assimilating the truth. Infinity is inspiring me to get into what is timeless about me. Haters and enemies are illusions. It's really me versus every me. I'm integrating all my versions of myself, past, present, and future through self-love. I take this chance. Truth hits to my whole experience of being divine and human. And I get to be a witness of both natures as I change, grow, and expand. Every part of this journey has led me to this point. At this exact time, I've been freeing desire, patience, and devotion. I have yielded my life to the whisper that says I am whole. I'm adamant to find out about me. Nothing can stop me this time. It's a yes this time. I'm giving my best this time. I've ended being a runaway light. I am here, have arrived to knowing my authority and responsibility to this life of contracts. It's my dominant intent to hold my being in vibrational harmony of love. I'm a splendid being, and I have come upon a great possibility of transcending from survival into sovereignty love, to express completely my greatness. I know the world is only expressing and repeating, but I'm expressing and repeating to myself. So self-love is on repeat. The sword of self-love has pierced the heavens of my mind and severed through the entangled hairs of believing I am less than love. And purpose of love is pulsating through all of me. Yeah. See, sometime I got to stop running. And it's what makes me to complete me. I have to embrace the fearful me just as much as the loving and the peaceful me. We all have a place in this wholeness that is I. I understand now that when I accept who I am, it allows me to be better me. Best me. Not the best copy of my mentors, teachers, or advisors guiding me. Just the greatest me I was put on this earth to be. Every day is a battle in this war until the peace treaty is signed. Every day I'm negotiating until this agreement finalized. I send this strike. There's no more dodging this fight. There's no more hiding from my shadows. It's time to stand firmly on loving myself and being grounded in self-love. It's no more running. It's me. It's not me. Who's responsible? Free me